There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, AntonioJuan.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with Cebu Technological University. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Cognizant, and Innodata. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem and CTU hymn.
Here pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Okay, so thank you again. Welcome everyone. So ready na ba kayo? I hope you all are. By the way, my name is Joyce from jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live again via Jobs 180 Facebook and Jobs 180 YouTube page. And we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. All right, so to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Nona Fe Y.S. Tolas, Director for the University of Career Center, to give us the opening remarks.
Thank you, Miss Joyce. Our beloved partners from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua, its Managing Director, Mr. Aaron Michel Ancheta, Senior Recruitment Coordinator of Cognizant Philippines Incorporated, Ms. Shena Marie Filomeno, Talent Acquisition Lead Associate of Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated. My colleagues in the University Career Center of Cebu Technological University, graduates, OJTs, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, a lot of opportunities for a better life are available to the Filipino youth. Primary and secondary education is free. Information is abundant, and career choices are found here and global or abroad. Those are conditions that would enable the youth to compete globally. Despite these opportunities, the Philippines still needs to overcome a high incidence of unemployment among the youth. We are still challenged to embark on measures that would ensure access by the youth to basic services and to job opportunities. So day to day, we are confronted with the sight of a young job seeker who lines up to apply for a job only to be rejected later on. We continue to wonder why there are still a lot of jobless youth when classified ads abound with numerous spreads on job vacancies. On the other hand, employers continue in their search for the right workers for vacancies in their firms. The situation tells us that unemployment does not always mean a lack of jobs. It may actually be a result of a job and skills mismatch due to lack of information on the requirements of the labor market and inappropriate job skills and qualifications. Yes, there are so many talented young people today whose abilities have not been fully exploited because they are unable to land appropriate jobs, much less satisfying careers. So this is the very reason this webinar, Marketing Me Live, is conducted to help our youth, especially our new graduates, school leavers, and out of school youth, maybe unemployed youth, to market themselves or get hired. So, young people, this is actually a very important activity. So, I hope you cooperate with us, you listen carefully to the speakers so that you will not go home empty-handed, but very, very marketable job seekers. So this is your University Director for University Career Center of CTU, Dr. Nona Festola, saying, enjoy the ride, buckle your seatbelt, and God bless everyone.
All right, so thank you so much, Dr. Nona, for gracing the event and, of course, for trusting Jobs 180 to power your events. We look forward to more events with CTU po, Dr. Nona. Thank you so much po.
Thank you.
And thank you, ma'am. So as usual, for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. And please don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa po sila dito, tawagan nyo na. Nakakapanghinayang naman if mamimiss nila itong opportunity na ito. So if you guys are ready, here is our schedule for today. So we have 3 topics for today's session. So first, we have the online applications using resume link, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next is virtual interviews by Cognizant Philippines. Third and last topic is exploring freelance work by Innodata. Okay, so again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Please comment your name, your year, and your course. And as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay? So, I believe Bisaya ang Cebu, no? So, kung if you are comfortable with the questions in Bisaya, okay lang. I'll translate. Help, I'll try. Diba? Okay, and andyan naman si Dr. Nona and Miss Donavel. Okay. So, to our audience, sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together. So, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So, for our first topic, which is online applications using Resume Link, our first presenter has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done more. He has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director from jobs180.com is Sir Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So, yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo, gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede yung pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay? So walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang, alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background. Tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes. A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologies, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pag nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. Di ba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Di ba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam nyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin, wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real-time. As in real-time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So yan. So tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon, by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik, hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year, ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. tignan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cellphone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. You don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pang mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo. Especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Hindi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com or email us, email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Ayan. Akala ko ako yung wala ng video. Ayan. So, thank you so much,
Ayos
Sir
naman.
Kim. I hope
All
you can
good.
hear me.
Yes, all good.
Ayan. Alright, so thank you, Sir Kim. Alright, so to our audience, Cebu Technological University. So, now is the time to ask. So, if you have questions regarding resume link, may mga katanungan kayo, may gusto kayong itanong kay Sir Kim about resume link, since you will be using your resume link sa future virtual career fair ni CTU. So, now is the time to ask. So, ayan, may mga
tanong nyo na.
ako na na-excite sila pagka-pasok pa lang ng resume link, sir, na topic. Ayan. So, itanong nyo na yan, guys. Okay? So, while waiting for questions, Sir Kim, syempre, sa mga okay, meron
Nawala ka
question.
bigla. May question.
Nawala,
Sige.
nawala.
Fire
Ayan,
away.
sir. Mabilis, masyadong mabilis. Ito.
Dami sa comments eh.
Ni-try ko Kimo resume link ba? Di man siya masubmit basta na work experience. So sabi niya, sir, nag-try daw siya mag-create ng resume link ngayon kaso hindi masubmit kasi walang work experience. So yung mga ganitong scenario, sir, pag walang work experience.
Yes, pwede ka naman mag-submit. When you're creating your resume link dun sa registration, ano yun eh, first page, second page, third page, fourth page. Bali, 4 na pages yan na maiiksi lang. No? Less than 2 minutes, tapos na kayo dyan eh. Hindi kayo aabot dun sa fourth page na nakalagay work experience kung dun pa lang sa third page, pinili nyo na yung no work experience. Kasi pagka nilagay nyo dun with work experience, pupunta kayo talaga dun sa fourth page. And then you have to fill out the at least basic information on the work experience. So, you can try it again. Kung wala kang work experience, okay lang, pwede kayo gumawa ng resume link. Hindi naman po ito para sa mga may trabaho lang eh, no? Kahit na wala pong trabaho, wala pong any experience, OJT, summer job, part-time job, ayun, estudyante, pwede po yan. Senior high school, gumagawa nga ng resume link. So, pwede po. No? Try it again lang. Yan.
Alright, so
Nakita ko maraming questions.
Okay, na from Ms. Cyril, what if wala pong work experience? So, katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Kim, no, kung wala namang work experience, wag pilitin. Okay? Pwede kayo mag-proceed just, click no. I believe may yes or no question kasi kung may work experience. Ayan, so next question is from Ms. Anthea Sugarol. Naku po. Ayan, if my account na po kami, then fix na lahat na gawa ng mga step, is it possible po ba na ang company ay mag-ask ng hard copy?
Yes, it is possible for companies to be asking for hard copies. No? what you can do, ang maganda sa resume link, flexible kasi siya sa part ninyo. Kung kinakailangan mo ng hard copy, hindi mo na kailangan gumawa pa or gamitin pa yung Word file nyo or yung PDF file nyo para mag-print out. Ang gamitin nyo na lang is yung resume link ninyo, tapos punta ka doon sa dashboard, hanapin mo lang print ng resume link. Pwede mo siya i-print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. Pero either way, pag nag-print out yun na yung hard copy nyo. That's one option. The other option na hard copy na mas nire-recommend ako, yung resume link card. Kasi hard copy pa rin naman yun, di ba? Wala naman sinabi pag hard copy, kailangan long band or short band paper, di ba? Na buo. No? So pwede naman maliit na papel, hard copy pa rin naman yun. You give that to the company, but you have to tell them politely. Maging magalang po tayo no sa pagsagot sa kanila, pagsabi sa kanila na yan po ang resume ninyo. Kasi baka pag tinanong kayo, ma'am, ano po yan? O sir, ano po yan? Baka sabihin nyo, hindi mo to alam? Hindi ka in. O di ba baka ganun ang sagutin nyo? Syempre baka mainis yung HR, di ba? Syempre kailangan natin maging polite lang. Sabihin nyo lang, ma'am, o kaya sir, yan po ang aking resume. Pwede nyo po yan i-type sa kahit na anong browser, Google Chrome, Firefox, Android, Safari, whatever you're using, di ba? Laptop, smartphone, gadget ninyo, makikita nyo po yung information ko. At kung may kulang pa po akong information na kailangan ninyo, sabihan nyo lang po ako and I will attach all the information there. Diba? Ang maganda dyan, kontrolado mo privacy settings mo. So anytime pwede ka mag-show or hide your information in public. I hope na-answer ko yung tanong ni Ma'am Antea. Ayan. Diba?
Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. Next question is from Sir Ever Vicente. So can I ask the age limit po when applying in a company?
Wala naman pong age limit. Kung ang iniisip nyo yung kung senior na, kahit na po senior na, hindi pwede, wala naman pong age limit. There are certain companies who might be following certain practices pagdating po sa age. No, yan po ang reality. Depende po sa trabahong papasukan ninyo. I'll give an example lang, no? Not naman na kami, I'm speaking as an HR. Okay, hindi naman kami dahil naglilimitahan ng edad para sa certain trabaho, pero may mga bagay na kayang gawin ng mas bata compare sa mas senior na. Let's put it that way, kung senior na. 'Di ba? Kasi halimbawa, yung trabaho nyo requires you to maybe travel a lot, no? And then or maybe you have to lift heavy weight, no? Medyo mabibigat yung kailangan buhatin. O 'di ba, syempre mas i-consider ng isang HR yung mas kaya gawin yung trabahong 'yon. But I'm speaking in general, sa atin po sa Pilipinas, according to our law, wala naman pong age limit dapat. Walang discrimination sa edad no pagdating sa pag-apply ng trabaho. So, kung sakali lang po nag-apply kayo at hindi kayo na-consider, don't worry, hindi naman po 'yan na nag-iisang trabaho na available. Marami pong ibang trabaho. Sigurado ako dyan sa Cebu, kahit di po sa Cebu, dyan po sa nearby area ninyo, marami rin pong mga opportunities na pwede nyo pong i-explore regardless of the age. Okay? So keep trying lang.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. Another question from Ms. Reina Bispo. If hindi pa graduate, though wala kang work experience rin, kailangan pa rin maggawa ng resume, then possible submit. Medyo magulo.
Nawala ako sa tanong mo. Kailangan ba gumawa?
The question is, if hindi pa graduate, wala ka pang work experience, kailangan pa po bang gumawa ng resume?
Mas maganda nga po. Oo, I recommend for those who are still in school, yung hindi pa kayo tapos graduate, no, hindi pa kayo gumagraduate sa school, gumawa na kayo ng resume link nyo. Huwag niyo na antayin yung time na dumating kayo sa job hunting season, tsaka ka magsisimula gumawa ng resume link ninyo kasi doon ka palang mapapaisip, ano ba yung mga kailangan mo ilagay doon? Di ba? Minsan mapapaisip ka, ano ba mga pinagkakabalahan ko nung first year ako o nung second year ako? Ano yung mga pinag-aktivahan ko na nag-i-active ako ng mga organization? Ano yung mga nagkaroon ako ng awards nung ako'y third year? Saan ako nag-OJT? Anong mga responsibilities na nangyari sa akin? Ano yung contribution ko doon sa company? Ang dami mo kailangan i-throwback. Dami mo kailangan i-flashback, 'di ba? Isipin mo lahat ng mga pwede mo ilagay sa resume link mo eh. So, wag mo na antayin 'yun. 'Di ba? Nire-recommend nga namin 'to as early as now, even if you are in senior high school or you are in whatever year level you are in. Freshman man 'yan, sophomore, junior, graduating year or graduate ka na. Okay? Kung nakikinig yung mga graduate na, gumawa na kayo ng resume link nyo. Tapos unti-unti nyo ngayon i-build yung information nyo. Yan yung maganda dyan, 'di ba? Unti-unti lagay nyo. So later on nagkaroon ka ng award, lagay mo. 'Di ba? Nagkaroon ng konting promotion, lagay mo diyan. 'Di ba? Everything, no? Nag-attend ka ng seminar, lagay mo diyan. Unti-unti as you build it up. 'Di ba? Ganun yung mas maganda. Okay, so just to answer the question, huwag nyo na antayin yung time na kayo ay gagraduate tsaka kayo gagawa. Gawin nyo na po ngayon. Okay? There.
Alright. So thank you, Sir Kim. Another question. So marami na tayong question.
Sige,
Another
fast talk
is
tayo,
from
fast talk
Sir
tayo. Yan.
Jonathan Aplacador. So does Jobs 180 also produces okay?
Does what do you produce? Sorry, nawala ako.
Hard copy, sir, or printable resume?
Hard copy.
Kung pwede
Oh,
bang i-print ang resume?
yes,
Yes.
yes. Inside your dashboard, punta lang po kayo, hanapin niyo yung print na option sa dashboard niyo, mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version, automatic na po i-configure na ng system yung layout niya para ang labas noon 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it comes out as 1 page. I-print mo na lang. Okay? So I hope na-answer kita tanong.
Alright, so ayan, so bilisan lang natin para masagot natin
Oo.
habang nandito Sir Kim, no? So another question, Sir Kim, is I tried using Jobs 180 po before, pero limited ang location sa job offers. How about that po?
Okay.
So that was before pa.
Yeah, well, ganito yan. Hindi lahat ng kumpanyang hahanapin nyo ay makikita nyo sa jobs180.com. Okay? Kaya nga pag nag-search kayo doon sa search bar, pwede nyo mahanap yung companies na nandiyan sa Jobs 180. Okay? Now, it does not limit you, however, to only apply to those companies that you see in Jobs 180. Kung may nakita kang kumpanya na gusto mo applyan, nakita mo sa ibang channel, nakita mo sa ibang platform, no? Gusto mo mag-apply, for as long as you know the contact details of that person, you know the email, you know the messenger, example, sa Facebook kayo magsisend ng link or sa text, sa email, sa SMS, depende kung saan nyo i-send, no? Sa Viber. Diba? Pwede nyo po yun i-send yung resume link niyo dun sa respective company na yun or dun sa employer na yun. Okay? So, yan yung kagandahan. No? Hindi kayo limited dyan po sa loob lang ng Jobs 180 na website. Okay?
Alright, thank you, Sir Kim. Another question is, hi, sir. For my question, my work experience as part-time service crew, ilalagay ko po ba siya as work experience kahit walang certificate na nakuha nung nag-resign ako?
Okay lang naman yon, Ma'am Joyce. Oh, Ma'am Joyce din pala siya, katukayo mo, Ma'am. So, yes, you can put your work experience. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, part-time job, summer job, full-time job, whatever that experience is, racket-racket man yan or sideline, kahit wala kayong proof doon sa certificate of employment doon sa company niyon, I'll tell you kung bakit. Kasi pagdating sa interview, sigurado ko malalaman niya ng HR kung kayo ay nambobola or hindi. Okay? So, kung wala naman talaga kayong actual work experience, wag nyo nang ilagay. Okay? Wag kayong mag-iimbento. Pero kung totoo naging experience nyo yan, masasagot nyo yung mga tanong ng mga HR. Okay? So, and usually these documents, the certificate for employment are just to back up lang naman, diba, for your claim. But what is more important is your experience kasi bit-bit mo yun eh. Ikaw mismo, alam mo kung ano yung napagdaanan mo doon sa trabahong yun. Okay? So, my answer to that question, yes, lagay mo lang dyan lahat.
Alright, so questions for him since ready na rin ating susunod na speaker. So from Sir Mark Cansancho, good afternoon po sa inyo, sir. May tanong lang po ako sa wala pa pong work experience sa kinuha naming kurso. May tatanggap po ba sa amin kung mag-apply kami sa mga company? Kasi mga company na humihingi ng work experience, ano po ang magandang gawin namin, sir?
Okay, there are companies who are strict about work experience. So kung kayo po ay nasa situation na wala talaga kayong totally any work experience na connected dun sa trabahong ina-apply ninyo, I recommend you still try. Try lang, wala namang mawawala. Submit your resume to that company. And then, pagdating po sa screening, I will leave it up to the HR, no, to later on decide kung pwede kayo mag-qualify considering na wala kayong total any background dun sa experience na yun. But you have to try. Because if you don't try to submit, you don't try to apply, wala talagang mangyayari. Diba? So, ang sa akin lang is try. Okay? And then, leave it up to the HR na to decide kung pwede. Yan. Okay? Sige.
Alright. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim.
Fast
So,
talk
last question is, from Ms. Dina Pandiman, sir, accessible po ba sa lahat ng company ang Jobs 180 or Jobs 180 resume link?
Yes, definitely. Kahit saan pa po kayo pumunta, kahit sa ibang bansa pa po yan, kaya binibiro ko nga, kahit sa ibang planeta pa yan, basta meron pong internet connection yung HR or yung company nga apply nyo at dapat alam nung bibigyan nyo yung eksaktong resume link nyo. Kasi pag hindi niya alam, hindi niya makikita details nyo. So you have to give the exact resume link to that person and as long as they have internet connection, they can type it in the browser and they will see your information. Depende sa privacy settings na ipapakita mo sa public. Okay? So to answer your question, yes. Kahit hindi kilala yung Jobs on 80, kahit saan platform, pwede niya makita yung details ninyo. Ayan. Meron ako nakita isang question dito, Ma'am Joyce.
Alright, so thank you so much,
Parang,
Sir Kim.
oo, napapanahon to ngayon.
Meron pa. Okay. From Sir JM po has. Work experience po is online seller. Yun ba yung question, Sir Kim?
Tama,
Freelancer,
tama.
mostly naka-virtual yung mga experience. Pwede din po ba yun?
Yes, kagaya ng
Counted ba
nasabi
siya
ko
as
nga,
work experience?
lahat po ng sa tingin ninyo na totoong naging work experience nyo, online selling man yan, 'di ba sabi ko kasi nagtinda kayo sa labas ng bahay ninyo, 'di ba? Malalaman ng HR yan kung nambobola ka or hindi. Okay? Maraming ways right now for HR people to do background checking and also to find out if what you're saying is true or not. Okay? So, sa panahon ngayon, isa lang masasabi ko, hindi na po applicable yun. You can fake it till you make it. Okay? Dati, yes, you can fake it till you make it. Right now, mukhang mahirap nang gawin yon. Okay? So, yan yung sa akin. Yes, just put it there. Okay? As long as it's a real work experience, lagay nyo lang po.
Alright.
Hmm.
Tsaka Sir JM, later meron tayong topic. Last topic natin is yung freelance work. So, pwede natin ask yung ating speaker for that question. So,
Marami pa
tatanungin
tayong mga
natin yan. So,
interesting speakers na in-invite. So, save your questions din. Just in case hindi ko matasagot yung questions
yes.
nyo, itanong nyo po yan mamaya, no? Kanila Sir Aaron, tsaka kay Ma'am Shena. Sigurado ko masasagutin nila yung mga questions niyo.
Ayan. So, since we are time-bound, we are moving on to our next topic. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat
Meron
po.
lang ako isang papaalala, Ma'am Joyce. Important.
Yes,
Kasi
sir.
malapit
Yes,
na po yung Virtual Career Fair para sa Cebu Technological University. The Virtual Career Fair is happening. It's happening on June 24. Okay? June 24 po. Mark your calendar. It's June 24 ng umaga. 8:30. In case hindi nyo alam anong araw yung June 24, Friday po yon. Okay? Friday. So, what you need to do lang is you go check out the link that you're seeing right now. Nagsuscroll ngayon sa screen. Go to schools.jobs180.com/CTU. Puntahan nyo yung page na yon, yung link na yon. Tapos join kayo doon sa job fair. Okay, you have to register, no, to join the job fair. This is for free, wala po itong bayad. At marami pong mga companies nag-aantay po sa inyo doon sa event na yon. Now, you don't need to wait until June 24 to start applying. Ang recommend ko is, as early as now, pag meron na po kayong resume link, you can already start applying to those companies because you never know. Diba? By June 24, that's 3 weeks from now. Baka may trabaho na kayo. Diba? By the time pupunta kayo dun sa Virtual Career Fair na yon. But in any case, please mark your calendar. June 24 po, it's a Friday, 8:30 na umaga. Punta lang kayo dun sa link na sinasabi ko. Kung hindi nyo na nababasa, ayan po, nagsuscroll right now. Schools, with an S, schools.jobs180.com/CTU, and that is where you register. Okay? So we'll see you there sa ating Virtual Career Fair. Ayan.
Alright.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, maraming salamat po. So, to CTU, if you still have questions po, for your questions, you may email us at info@jobs180.com or you may message us through our Facebook page po. We'll try to be as responsive as possible since we're also getting a number of questions every day. Pero we'll try to answer all your questions. Ayan. So, maraming salamat.
Ayan.
And
Salamat
please save your
din.
questions kasi may two speakers pa tayo later. So, thank you so much, Sir
Salamat
Kim.
po. For a very active audience. Thank you. See you soon. Ingat po.
Alright. So, thank you, guys. So, next, moving on to our next topic, which is virtual interview. So, let me introduce our next speaker. So, our next presenter worked as a team leader and regional business manager in 2 international executive search firms. He has years of experience in recruiting in IT industry for APAC-based institutions such as financial services, consulting, social media, e-commerce, and fintech. Before all that, he worked as a nurse in Singapore and was medical oncology, blood and marrow transplant nurse at St. Luke's, Quezon City. So the senior recruitment coordinator from Talent Acquisition Group of Cognizant Philippines, Mr. Aaron Michel Ancheta. Sir Aaron, good afternoon po.
Hello, good afternoon, and to all CTU students, good afternoon. Hi, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Ayan. So, alam kung sa akin yung may delay, pero yes, sir, we can see you now. So,
Okay.
can we now test your share screen?
Yep,
All right,
I
so
think
it's up
it's
po. So if
already
you're
there.
ready, yes, sir. I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, sir Aaron.
All right, thank you so much. And again, good afternoon to everyone. For this afternoon, I will be discussing and sharing with you some insights on how you can ace your future job interviews, particularly virtual interviews, since most of the companies now are still doing virtual interviews. So let's proceed. Let's have a bit of a throwback. Um, Social distancing is crucial to curb this pandemic, and it seemed quite effective. And this is very important. No, this is a very important preventive measure, and it also has transformed businesses around the world. So, as difficult as it may seem, there are a lot of job opportunities out there if you're planning to have a jump start, towards a digital career or even other careers right after your graduation. So, a recent study reveals that nearly 98% of all organizations in the Philippines have implemented HR changes, and 74% are adopting work from home setup, and 48% are changing their methods for finding and interviewing job candidates. Hence, most of the companies now are gearing towards virtual recruitment. And even before COVID 19, most of the job seekers have already turned towards digital platforms to find jobs. For example, jobs180.com. You can already apply online instead of going directly to the companies to submit hard copies of your resume, your documents, etc. In fact, 2 out of 5 candidates, so that's around 40%, they're actively searching and applying jobs during pandemic, and the other 35%, the other 35% are kind of like monitoring new job opportunities. So the other 25 are not open to new jobs. So hence, we have a huge 75% of potential candidates in the market available. Hence, we are ramping up our digital presence by boosting our digital post in job boards like this, jobs180.com. So there, just a quick overview of how the recruitment process is, not just in Cognizant, but I think in general to all companies out there. So first step is application stage by submitting your resume via job board or through referral program or whichever channel that you have decided to use. And then after you apply, there will be a telephone screening done by a recruiter from the company you have applied. So this will be very short, and the recruiter will only give out a few questions, very short questions, and then just confirm your personal information and your previous work experience. And the next step is interview invitation. This is the invitation for your uh, second layer interview, which is more technical. And then after the technical interview, you wait for feedback, and it might take a couple of days, let's say 3 to 7 business days, before you finally receive a feedback. Some companies give out feedback right after the interview, perhaps a few hours after the interview, which is good. And then if you pass the series of interviews, then they will be offering you a contract for employment. And whether you accept or reject, you will still have a record within the system that an offer has been rolled out for you, and it's either you have accepted or declined it. And once you accepted the offer, then you will be undergoing onboarding, right? So now that you know the usual process of recruitment in each company in general, let's now proceed to some tips on how to prepare for your interview. So this is before and during an interview, right? So Things you need to know before the interview. First is do not be afraid to fail the interview. Perhaps just a few days before your interview, you're feeling very nervous. You're thinking how would the interview will be. You're thinking on how to answer possible questions, and that will add up to your nervousness. And one advice that I can give you is to just focus on the job description that the recruiter gave you, or focus on the job description that is posted in the job boards, review it, study it, and then try to come up with readily available answers for the usual common interview questions. Again, feeling nervous is also good, but feeling too nervous is bad because it might cause mental block. That's what we call it, mental block. And what would happen is during the interview, if you're feeling too nervous, um, your mind might go blank, and you might not be able to answer properly in the next following question. So it's okay to feel nervous, but don't be too nervous. And we have tips on how to lessen your nervousness now. The interview is not about you and your CV. The interview is about how your experiences and skills can add value to their team. So please avoid sharing information, just like what Sir Kim shared earlier. Please avoid sharing information that is not relevant to any type of work. For example, um, you putting in your CV that you love to watch noontime shows, etc. That is not actually related to any type of work. No, so avoid as much as possible. Avoid adding the hobbies section in your resume, because more often than not, it does not have any relevance. No, so make sure you maintain eye contact at all times during the interview, and it's okay to pause for 5 seconds. Beyond that, they will think that you spaced out. So, if in case that the interviewer asks you a difficult question, here's a tip. Before the interview, prepare a glass of water that is almost full, and then whenever the interviewer asks you a question, excuse yourself and try to sip for like 3 seconds to give you more time to think about the answer. No, that's how I do it in my previous interviews when I was applying way back, and this is one of the tips that I give to um, you know my candidates. No, in case they will be undergoing a technical interview. Next is to wear corporate attire. Corporate attire means collared shirt and not t-shirt, okay? Collared shirt is like this, the one I'm wearing. If you can also wear suit or coat to make it more formal, but collared shirt is fine. You know? Something that you would wear when you're working in Wall Street in the US, or when you're working in a very corporate setting type of company. Yeah, or something that you would wear if you're meeting a very important person like a CEO. Next is be in the meeting lobby at least 15 minutes before the schedule, because um, you might not know what would happen a few minutes before your interview session. Uh, you might face technical problems with your webcam, your microphone, or with the platform you're using. So, as much as possible, be there at least 15 minutes before so you can adjust if in case there would be technical issues. And last is to smile often unless the topic is serious, because a smile goes a long way during interviews. So, let's talk about the platform to be used. So, for candidates like you should start exploring different video conferencing platforms. No, platforms like Zoom, um, Skype, or whichever the company would prefer to use for video interviews. You should try different types of video conferencing platforms. And what you should do before the interview day is to make an early reminder in your calendar. All right, with the link of the interview session, so that you won't miss out on the interview day and time itself. Next is to practice interview etiquette in front of webcam using the platform that is preferred. So, um, practice etiquette interview etiquette. Practicing interview etiquette means that you should observe proper framing. You should avoid a lot of unnecessary movements during interviews, and you can practice that ahead of time. And last is to prepare based on the advice of the recruiter. Of course, the recruiter will give you a heads up on what the job is about. The recruiter might give you a more detailed copy of the job description, so you should study that, read on that. And some recruiters might give you some advice on what to do and what not to do during the interview. For example, the recruiter might tell you that the interviewer is keen on eye contact, the reviewer is very strict when it comes to time, so don't be late. So try to take note of things like that so that you can ace your next interview. Next is internet connection and devices. First, you must have stable internet connection to avoid uh, cutting in and out during the interview session. So, at least you should have a download and upload speed of around 10 or 12 at the least, okay? So that the fidelity of the internet connection is a bit stable. And you can also test your speed test 15 minutes before the interview. And similarly, you can also check your audio and video devices a few minutes before the interview session starts. And of course, just to be safe, you can always prepare a backup internet connection. For example, load up on mobile data or have this prepaid Wi-Fi ready just in case your fiber or DSL connection fails. Next is to prepare for the actual interview. So again, study the company's profile. You can visit their company website to check their profile and also read the job description. Study the job description and try to connect the job description to your profile, how your profile would add value to the job description. Next is to brush up on the basics of your line of work. Of course, you're a fresh graduate, and the recruiters or the interviewers would ask you some questions regarding the basics in your line of work. For example, if you're coming from a nursing background, the interviewers would most likely give out questions during technical interviews like, do you know the fundamentals of hand washing? Do you know the fundamentals of wearing um, PPEs, etc.? So those are basic stuff, but interviewers are going to check if you know the fundamentals of your line of work. So be sure to brush up on those. And next is list down common interview questions. I mentioned that earlier. And formulate a short but concise answer. So you can actually um, list it down and practice it days before the actual interview. Again, wear appropriate clothes for an interview, corporate attire, and assign a place that is quiet and well lit. So if you have noise canceling headphones, then better. Next is proper camera framing. So we have this term called rule of thirds. And the basic principle is to divide your image, this rectangular image right here, into thirds horizontally and vertically. So technically, as much as possible, your mouth should be on the middle box, all right? And your shoulders should be on the lower quadrants, on the left and the right quadrants of the frame. Uh, It's okay not to follow that, but as much as possible, your head should be in the middle of the frame. Not like this, or not like this, or not like this. It's too forward. Okay? And you must remember this compositional elements, if you framing your body against the frame, because this is also, well, this might also give an impression to the interviewer that this candidate knows proper interview etiquette. All right. And again, look at these photos. What the male candidates are wearing. They are wearing collared shirts. Some are wearing coats. And if, of course, if you're doing a virtual interview, it's up to you if you're going to wear pants, slacks, or chinos. But if not, that's fine. But my advice to some of my candidates is to actually wear the full attire, because this makes you feel that you're really on your game, right? So this sets the mood during the interview session by just wearing complete attire itself, rather than just wearing boxers and then wearing collared shirts and coat. But if you're opting to do that, that's fine. So now let's proceed to the common interview questions. So first is the most common, which is tell me something about yourself. So when you're asked this question, do not give too much or too little information about your personal life. Um, the interviewer would still like to hear something about your personal life, but my advice is that you mix both. All right. You tell them something about your personal life and relate it to your work life. Okay. An example would be I'm a father of three, and uh, on a daily basis, I manage to balance work and family time. And that's how it is during work. I'm really good in balancing time for one task to another. So see how I position that answer towards my work experience. I have related my personal life and leveraged it to make my work experience more positive. All right. So maximum of 2 minutes only. And of course, end with key traits or attributes that would add value to their team. Positive traits. Okay. Next is how were you able to find this job opportunity? Now, this question refers to where you learned about the job. So you can start with I found this via LinkedIn or via jobs180.com, or my friend actually told me about this job opportunity. Something like that. If it's in social media, talk about how you usually spend your time in social media productively. So if you found this opportunity over Facebook or Instagram, you can well, you cannot just say that I'm actually just skimming through my timeline in Facebook, then suddenly I found this job online, so I have decided to try it out, and fortunately we are here. So that might be an okay answer, but well, for me, that would seem like it's just coincidental that you have applied for this job. So what you can tell them is that I usually browse Facebook or Instagram for upcoming careers, because I can see trends in my timeline. And fortunately, one of my ex-colleagues have shared this opportunity. And upon reading the job description, I immediately applied, hoping that I can add value to your team. All right. So that's a really good answer if you're coming from social media. If it's a job site, talk about how you constantly check for interesting jobs that would suit and improve your current skill set, because this will give the impression that you are really interested in finding a job that would fit you. And if in case your channel is through referral, or if your friend or ex-colleague or your classmate referred you to this job opportunity, talk about how you maintain good relationship with colleagues. Tell them about your relationship with that referrer, and how you maintain that to a point that your referrer is really open to recommending you to work with their company. All right. Next is, what are your strengths? So this is one of the questions that employers almost always ask, which would make or break the interview sessions. Now, some candidates, this is common among fresh graduates. Now, they do not understand the essence of the question, what are your strengths or what are your weaknesses? And sometimes they answer, my strengths are playing basketball, playing volleyball. My strengths are reading books in very short time. No, that's not how you answer this question. When you're asked about your greatest strengths, it is important to discuss the attributes that qualify you for that specific job you're applying for. And surely that will set you apart from other candidates. So, for example, you have been asked, what are your strengths? So, try to, before the interview, try to come up with an answer that could actually relate to your potential work. For example, my strength is that I am really a good team player. I was previously in the student council, and our term went really well because of the collaborative spirit that we have in the council. And I think I could apply that when I join your company because I really work well with my teammates, and I'm really open to suggestions, and I'm also very proactive when it comes to suggestions. It's things like that. So you have related your previous experience as a student to something that could add value to your future work. Again, answering this question is not showing, but rather telling. I mean, uh, this is, yeah, this is somewhat showing rather than telling. All right. Again, of course, you will also be asked, what are your weaknesses? Sometimes they just ask this in one question, or what are your strengths and weaknesses? And be careful in this question because sometimes what you say could actually hurt your reputation as a candidate. So try to come up with an answer that might seem negative at first, but then you can transform it into something really good. Okay. For example, well, one common answer to this question is that my weakness would be that I focus too much on one thing because I'm a perfectionist, and I would like to, I would like to make sure that my tasks are done perfectly. However, I see this as a strength as well because this weakness makes me sure that all of my tasks, all of my outputs are in good quality. So you can think of answers like that can make something negative into something positive. Okay, I think you get the point. Next question is, why did you leave your previous job? Now, again, be careful with this question because some candidates are, well, it's okay to be honest, but some candidates are too honest that they are voicing out their complaints from their previous employers. And if you complain a lot, you complain a lot about your previous employer, then that might give the impression that you only see the negative things in a company. You only complain most of the time. You don't see the essence of why that happened. You don't see the essence of why your boss made that decision. You don't even find solutions to your problems. So be careful in answering this question. As much as possible, keep it positive. Do not sour grape or do not say anything too negatively about your previous boss or your previous job. Okay, stick with facts and be direct and focus your answer on the future. Now, I had this quest. I have someone before. I think he's also a student. He asked me, what if you had, you were terminated before, because of malpractice, or you did something wrong during your previous employment, is it okay to share that to your interviewer? Um, I think yes, as long as you can justify that you have been terminated uh, um, properly. No? Uh, of course, you will not be terminated just because of, of, of the company just wanting to terminate you out of nothing, no, or you're not terminated just because there are no reasons. You have also your reasons, and you have to justify your reason why that happened, no. You can tell that, but do not go into too much details about it. Just let the interviewer know that I have been terminated, but the reason is uh, I was not the vision of the company is not already aligned with my vision, and uh, we had we had conflicts within the team, and we tried to resolve those conflicts, but unfortunately we were not able to uh, meet halfway. Hence, the company decided to let me go. So it may seem that yes, you were terminated, but it would not seem that you were terminated because you have done something wrong and you did nothing to resolve it. All right. At least the interviewer knows. Anyway, they will know what happened because they will run some background checks. So you have to be honest with your interviewer, and at least your interviewer know, or the hiring manager knows what happened previously, and you have justified it properly during your interview. All right. It's a really difficult question to answer, and difficult to make it sound good. So be very careful. How do you handle stress and pressure at work? So the best way to respond to this question is to share an example of any projects or any events during your school time, and try to remember if you have faced any difficulty, or if you have faced any issue, and how you or your team handled it. No. Another thing is stress. We should try to think of some event, or some event in a project or in a school event that made you so stressful, and tell the interviewer how you cope with that kind of stress. So try to formulate answers in a way that acknowledges and relates school and workplace stress, and explain how you've overcome it or even use it to your advantage. All right. So here's an example. When customers or associates come to me with issues, I try to look at things from their perspective and initiate a collaborative problem solving approach to keep the situation from escalating. I find that maintaining an efficient, congenial office with open lines of communications automatically reduces a lot of workplace stress. Of course, sometimes unanticipated stressors will arise. When this happens, I just take a deep breath, remembering that the person I'm dealing with is frustrated with a situation, not with me. And then I actively listen to their concerns and make a plan to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Okay, this is a really good example. Next question is to describe, or next item is the interviewer asking you to describe a difficult work situation or project you experienced before. It's pretty much the same thing with the previous question. There is no right or wrong answer to this question. And how you react will show the hiring manager your work style and how you manage issues. And this is very critical. This is commonly asked when, especially when you're dealing with a high pressure job. If you're applying for a high pressure job. Next is, what are your goals in the next 5 years? So this question is designed to find out if you're going to stick around or move on as soon as you find a better opportunity. Keep your answer focused on the job and the company, and repeat to the interviewer that the position aligns with your long-term goals. So if the interviewer would ask you this question, you can answer like this. I see myself uh, getting promoted in the next 3 years because I'm a go-getter and I make sure that I collaborate well with my boss, with my teammates, and I make sure that there are a lot of innovations coming from me so that the whole team will be elevated. So that's one good answer to that. You can also formulate your own answer. And here are other common interview questions like how do you handle success or how do you handle failure? Another question is do you work well with other people or are you a really good team player? Yeah. Another question is what can you do better for us than the other applicants? What makes you better than the other applicants? And another question is why are you the best person for the job or why should we hire you? So you can actually study and try to find more answers to these questions. If you want, I can share with you some information on the interview questions later on. So I'll skip this video part. And that would be it. I know because we have issues of time, so I have to make this quick. But just to give you an introduction about our company, Cognizant is one of the world's leading professional services companies, transforming clients' business, operating, and technology models for the digital era. We innovate with a purpose, and we help businesses modernize their operations. And these are the scorecards from last year and the other year. Okay. And these are the industries that we help and support. We have healthcare, we have insurance, manufacturing, banking and financial services, retail, communications or media, technology, and life sciences. So these are the global core values and our mission and vision. So we have our main office here in Taguig, so in McKinley Hill. And we also have one in Cebu, which is in Skyrise 4. So what opportunities do we have for you? I'll run this through quick. So for IT, we have AI and analytics. We have Informatica developers, BI developers, Python developers, big data developers. For quality engineering and assurance, we have manual testers, functional testers, automation testers. For digital engineering, we have back-end developers like full stack Java developers, .NET developers, Java developers, and core Java. And for our front end side, we have openings for React JS developers, Angular JS developers, and Node JS developers. We also have mobile developers for iOS and Android. For our digital business operations, we have video sharing accounts. So this is like our BPO side. Okay. We have video sharing accounts, medical equipment accounts, retail accounts, fintech accounts, cloud computing account, insurance account, and even life sciences or healthcare account. So we are also hiring for Philippine registered nurses, USRNs, RPH, and other allied health courses. So again, our work sites are in Quezon City, in Taguig. We also have one in Alabang. We have one in Bataan, and we also have one in Cebu. So benefits, just a quick run through. You can see this in our company website. And that's it. If you want to know more about our openings, you can visit our Jobs 180 profile, jobs180.com/cognizant.cognizantph. Okay. All right. That would be all. Thank you so much.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Aaron. So I hope you can hear me po.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right. So to our audience, so if you have questions regarding the topic virtual interviews, feel free to post your questions on the comment section, and Sir Aaron will try to answer the questions. Okay, so I'll be asking a couple of questions lang then Sir Aaron since we are time bound na din.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Um, all right, so First question is, are there candidates po who do not pass the interview because of their attire? Since attire is included po, tama sa inyong topic. No sound, sir.
Sorry, Joyce, your line is cutting in and out. I did not get the question.
All right, so
Again.
let me repeat the question, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, better.
All right, so apologies. All right, so the question is, are there candidates po who do not pass the interview because of their attire?
Yes, there are candidates who fail the interview because of what they're wearing during the interview, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's a virtual interview, because that says a lot about your professionalism, your preparedness for an interview, and how you present yourselves with the stakeholders. So if you're that kind of person who wears tank tops or sandals during interviews, we will not expect that you will wear collared shirts or coats during team meetings, right? And that is, wearing sandals or wearing something that is not expected for an interview is, it gives impression that you are not really that committed to uh, have a foot forward, for this type of opportunity.
Alright, so thank you, sir. And may mga makukulit naman talagang mga aplikante na kahit sabihan na diba, wear proper attire, pero still dumadating ng interview or nagpapakita sa interview ng not wearing his
Yes,
appropriate.
I would like to add, if in case that your interview day or time is already, for example, 10 minutes. Um, you only have 10 minutes before your actual interview session, no, and
Mhm,
you cannot dress up because you're out of your house or you cannot make it to the office.
mhm.
Try to connect with your recruiter and tell them that you're still on the way back home and currently you're not wearing something appropriate for an interview. So you can ask if you can reschedule the interview instead. Yeah,
Alright, so
you
thank you,
can
sir.
do that.
Mm. So, may question po sa audience, galing sa audience. So, pagbigyan natin si Miss Mary Campo. So, good afternoon, sir. Nag-apply po ako sa isang company tapos nakapag-take na ako ng assessment exam nila. Pero up until na wala pa yung results or feedback galing sa kanila regarding sa assessment. Ano po ba ang meaning nun? Hindi na po ba ako pumasa? Hindi po ba ako pumasa?
Not really because wala pa naman silang binibigay na feedback. So we cannot really say na hindi ka na pumasa or whatever. So what you can
Mhm.
do is try to recall who the recruiter is. Try to recall the name of the recruiter. Try to contact them again. You can send an SMS. You can try to call them if they left their number. You can email them for updates. And if in case 1 month has passed, it's either you did not pass the assessment or they are just pulling you because they are waiting for demands to open up. So there's a difference between active hiring and pooling kasi. So they might be accepting candidates to pool them in case an opening comes up in the future. So be sure
Mhm.
to clarify that with your recruiter. Is this job opening just for pooling purposes or are you actively hiring for this? Do you have active openings for this? Once the recruiter tells you that we are actually just pooling because we have potential demands opening up in the next coming months, then do not expect that they will call you back immediately to onboard. Of course, they're pulling you and they will contact you again once the demand is active. So again, what you can do, Mary Abigail, is to contact your recruiter again and ask for a follow-up. If still they are not responsive, then try to explore other opportunities.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Aaron. So I think no more questions from the audience, and that's it. So your final word, sir. sa mga graduating students natin. Ayan, malapit na.
Yes, malapit na malapit na. First of all, congratulations to all graduating students of CTU. And I'm very excited to meet some of you during candidate interviews. I know most of you or some of you will apply at Cognizant Cebu. So I hope to see you all. Not if not all, I hope to see most of you during candidate interviews. And best of luck to all of you.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Aaron. So thank you so much for joining us today and we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Maraming salamat, Sir. Ingat po.
Thank you, Joyce. Bye.
All right. Thank you, sir. So next up, our um, speaker from Innodata. So our third presenter and speaker for today's session, who will talk about exploring freelance work. So she graduated BS Psychology at San Sebastian College Recoletos de Cavite, working as HR professional for 4 years now at Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated, which is one of the pioneers of work from home arrangement with flexible schedule and highly promotes work-life balance. The talent acquisition lead associate from Innodata, Ms. Shena Marie Filomeno. Hi, Ms. Shena. Good afternoon po.
Hello, good afternoon, Joyce. Good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
afternoon, ma'am. And ma'am, can we
Mm-hmm.
now test your share speed?
Cheers. Yeah, okay, sure.
All
All right.
right, so guys, please save your questions. So if you have questions about regarding the topic freelancing or freelance work, so please post your questions on the comment section. Ms. Shena, your screen is up, so if you're ready, I'll leave it to it po. Good luck, Ms. Shena.
Okay. Thank you, Joyce. Okay. So again, I would like to greet all of you. Good afternoon from all the students from CTU. Good afternoon. So again, I am Shena Marie Filomeno. I am working as a talent acquisition lead at Innodata. Okay. So what I will be discussing today is something that is trending right now, or something that a lot of us wants to try. So this is something different with the traditional employment that we have here in the Philippines. This is about the freelancing. So a lot of us are familiar, or some of us are not familiar with freelancing. So we will be discussing it, especially the freelancing now in the new normal setup. Okay. So let's define first ano nga ba si freelance work. So this is a job where a person works for themselves. So rather than a company, so while freelancers do take on contract work for companies and organizations, they are ultimately self-employed. So freelancers are responsible for all sorts of things that traditional employees are not. So such as setting their work hours, keeping track of their time spent on different projects, billing clients, and paying their own employment and business taxes. So freelancers are not considered employees by the companies they work, but rather contractors. Okay, so basically, so freelance is it is a type of employment where hindi talaga sila totally employed sa isang company. So usually they take projects from that company, pero it doesn't mean na employed sila sa kanila. Okay? So usually the freelancers, they are those people na hawak nila yung sarili nilang oras. So they have at least 3-4 hours a day to work on a specific project or on a specific client. So that's what the freelance work do. Okay? So sila yung responsible for their own billing, kumbaga like the contributions, unlike the traditional employment or the regular employment na si company ang nagbabayad ng mga contributions nila. Okay? Then of course, they need to settle their taxes personally sa BIR. So that's what the freelance work do. Okay. So they say, statistics says that hiring freelancers is the new normal. So especially that pandemic happened. So before, way back, freelancers are there. So may mga freelancers na tayo or home-based or kumbaga part-timers. So they are there, but since pandemic happens, mas naging matunog or mas naging marami yung gustong mag-shift from traditional employment or regular employment into freelancing. Okay? So working in a new normal, so again, having this setup, so of course, virtual recruitment. So, umupo ka lang sa bahay, meron kang sariling laptop, may sarili kang internet connection, nakakapag-apply ka ng trabaho. And then, as of now, some companies are offering hybrid setup. So, ano nga ba si hybrid setup? So, hybrid setup is, I think, 2 to 3 days. Some days are in the office and then some days are at home. So, they are working at home. So, then, of course, hiring freelancers is the new trend now. So, a lot of companies are offering or hiring freelancers. Then today or as of now, big companies offering work from home setup with flexible schedule. Okay, so some of the companies took advantage of the pandemic with the setup. So since if ever there's a company that they can let their employees working from home, so that's a good setup or that's the setup they are now offering. Okay. So bakit nga ba nila sinasabi that the future is freelancing? So first is because companies are realizing that freelancers can be good for the bottom line. Okay? So of course, the constant thing in the world is change. So what we need to do if may changes or pabago-bago yung ikot ng mundo ngayon or yung trend ngayon. Of course, as a company, as an employer, as a person, we need to adapt with those changes. So businesses are finding new ways to get work done during the period of groundbreaking revolution. So it is widely known and proven that a gig economy is profitable for companies given that they can accommodate a temporary workforce according to customer requirements or business needs, so leading to saving administrative and compliance costs. So this framework allows startup and smaller companies to leverage skilled professionals as required. So the setup is synergetic and both parties have the liberty to take options that cater to their needs. So basically, it means that if companies hire freelancers, so the cost or kumbaga mas makakamura sila, mas makakatipid. But they can get a professional or a subject matter experts na talagang required dun sa hinahanap nila. Okay? So kung for a specific project, it can be a short-term or a long-term project. So pwedeng-pwede silang kumuha ng mga freelancers. Okay? Because of course, katulad yan, nasa bahay lang yung mga freelancers natin. Okay? So, and then of course, the freelancers can only accommodate a temporary work, kumbaga. Okay? So the next one is the digital workplace is the new normal. So, and freelancers are already pros at working online. So lahat tayo, parang nagta-transition na tayo sa into a modern or digital world. Kumbaga, kung lahat ng kailangan natin gawin is made digitally. Okay? So that's the new normal. So hindi lang dahil pandemic, new normal na siya. But the trend or but the setup that we have now and the resources that we have now is digital. Okay? And of course, freelancers, they can work on space. Kumbaga, kahit nasa bahay sila, basta may internet connection sila, makakapag-work sila. At sanay na sila sa ganong setup. Okay? So they are willing and have the ability to take on more tasks because they are incentivized to work hard. So kumbaga they are paid on based on their productivity. So they are working hard to earn more. Okay? Additionally, they aren't averse to working outside of the normal 9 to 5 work day. So kumbaga si freelancers, they are working kung ano lang yung kaya nilang oras like 3 hours, 4 hours, maximum of 5 hours a day, unlike sa traditional or sa regular employment na kailangan mong pumasok na 8 to 9 hours a day. So if your business needs someone who can put in long hours of work, look no further than a freelancer. So para doon, hindi pwede yung freelancers. So and since the digital workplace is part of the new normal, you can rely on your on-demand hire to work from whenever they are in the work. So kumbaga, since nag-work tayo sa bahay that's why we can work anywhere. So kahit nasa ibang bansa ka, kahit kumbaga nasa bakasyon ka, you can work as a freelancer or you can deliver your task. And of course, you can take another task from different clients. So hindi ka lang nakatali sa isang task na gusto mong gawin. So there's nothing that a freelancer can do with a computer and a good internet connectivity. So that's true. Okay. The rise of freelancing is an indication of future trends. katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina, na ang mga freelancers or the freelance work are already there, matagal na. But since nga nag-pandemic, so ito yung kumbaga nagiging trend natin. So marami na tayong kilala na nag-a-apply or naghahanap ng freelance work. Or kumbaga from the traditional or from the 8 to 9 hours a day work, naghahanap na sila ng work kung saan hawak nila yung sarili nilang oras. So, companies have realized that their dependence on digital solutions leading them to focus on digitalization in education, health, finance, and other sectors. So IT experts and project managers skilled at AI. AI is artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data will be in high demand. So corporates will move forward with smaller workforces and invariably using freelancers access to the work. So kumbaga mas marami nang mag-hire ng mga companies ng mga freelancers kesa sa full-time employees. Okay. So freelancing in the Philippines. So ano nga ba yung mga setup natin dito sa Pilipinas? So sabi, so this data is from 2016 that 800 Filipinos are registered. So meron registered sa platform ng pagiging freelancers. But of course, since it was 2016, so kumbaga 2016 to 2022, nadagdagan na yan. Okay? Nadagdagan na yung mga freelancers na meron tayo. It can be a million and up na Filipinos na nag-engage or nag-engage sa freelancing. Okay, so it can be a thriving sector dito sa Philippines. And then over time, an increasing number of Filipinos have experimented with digital freelancing. So Upwork is one of the famous platform that we can use if we want to explore freelancing. It has an around 1.4 million users enrolled as of 2015. But as what I have mentioned, baka hindi lang yan 1.4 ngayon na 2022 na. Okay? And then, according also to the research, that freelancers can earn as much as 30,000 a month or more. Okay? Again, freelancing, it depends on their productivity. Okay? So that's the reason why they earn. So the more na mag-work ka, the more na yung kikitain mo. Okay? So somehow, sinasabi nila, in reality, pwedeng mas mataas pa yung kinikita ng mga freelancers kesa sa mga regular employees. Okay? So that's why maraming naiengganyo ng mga workers na mag-change into freelancing. So we have, what is it like working as a freelancer in the Philippines? So ano nga ba yung mga perks? So first is bigger opportunities, bigger earnings, and better balance in life. So, the first one is bigger opportunity. So, napakadami ng website or napakadami ng platforms na pwede natin i-explore when it comes to freelancing. So, pwede tayong maghanap at the comfort of our home. Okay? So, of course, as a Filipino, there's a lot of talents or skilled Filipinos na nagtatrabaho dito na nagtatrabaho ngayon. Okay? So, we are overflowing with world-class talent. But the issue is that they aren't enough outstanding chances in the country to fully employ or compensate them. Okay? Job searches must be aggressive in order to secure decent jobs. So, dapat maging aggressive daw yung mga naghahanap ng trabaho. Okay? While the rest of the workforce is overworked and underpaid. So, that's the reality here in the Philippines. Okay? So, that's why if they can't make it sa mga regular or sa regular or traditional na employment, so they tend to explore freelancing. So nakakakuha sila or they tend to work outside the country. Okay? So and then of course bigger earnings, just what I have mentioned earlier, that based on the studies na somehow freelancers are earning more than the regular employee. So for example, a very common freelancers that we have here in the Philippines is our the common are writers. So yung mga writers natin, yan yung mga common na freelancers. So for example, they can produce 3 to 4 pieces in a single day. So kahit sabihin nating paid siya, lowest rate ng $3 to $5. So by the way, mostly na mga freelancers are paid dollars. So for each piece, he or she might earn up to 18,000 a month. So that's more than 50% higher than the typical Filipino workers' monthly minimum salary. Okay? So, in other fields, they can earn more. Okay? Pwede merong mga freelancers o may mga clients na nag-offer ng $22, $30 per hour. Okay? The next one or the last one is the better balance in life. Okay? Freelancers we strike a nice balance between their professional, family, social, and personal life because of the benefit of being able to set their own work hours. So parents who work as freelancers will profit the most from this perk. So because they will be able to satisfy their responsibilities to their children while still earning money. So this might also imply that more time will be set up for family bonding activities. So, since hawak mo yung oras mo as a freelancer, so of course, you have more time para makasama yung family mo or kumbaga kung single ka, pwede kang pumunta kahit saan, kahit saan. So, kung hindi ka nagtatrabaho sa opisina, nagtatrabaho ka lang sa bahay, pwede kang magtrabaho uh, outside the country, out of town. So, that's the perks or that's why a lot of people are interested to try freelancing. Okay? Kasi syempre, kung nasa regular employment ka, nasa opisina ka. Okay? Unlike being a freelancer, so you can work anywhere. Basta dala mo lang yung laptop mo at may internet connection ka. Okay? So this is very beneficial. I know a lot of people, especially mothers or parents, nagtatry na sila mag-freelancing para maalagaan nila yung anak nila. Okay? So that's why freelancing somehow promotes work-life balance. Okay? They earn, but still they have their personal lives. Kumbaga, the work and the family are separated. Okay? So, this is the website. These are the websites that offering freelance work. So, baka dito may mahanap kayo or baka dito pwede kayong mag-try kung gusto nyo maging freelance. Okay, so the very one of the famous website is Upwork. So you can try Upwork. Okay. Next is Design Heal. LinkedIn and LinkedIn Profinder. So meron na din tayo niyan sa LinkedIn. If you I highly suggest if you can create a LinkedIn account. TopTal. Simply Hired. Okay, Behance. Fiverr. And Guru. So these are the examples of website wherein that offers freelance work setup. Okay, so you can search on that. So you can create an account. Okay, so and then somehow actually social media plays a big role when it comes to this. So I saw a lot of Facebook groups na nag-offer sila ng mga freelance work. So, pwede nyong i-try yan. Kumbaga kung saan kayo, kung saan yung interest nyo na magtrabaho or anong interest nyo na maging field pag nag-freelance kayo. Also, actually, TikTok. Nakakakita ko sa TikTok ng mga nagpo-post sila na kung magkano yung kita nila. And then, nakikita ko kung saan sila nag-work. Usually, the common is writers, virtual assistant. So, yun yung mga work commonly na as a freelancer. Okay? But of course, I would like to introduce to you kung saan pa kayo pwedeng mag-apply as a freelancer. Okay? So, we are offering freelance work. So, Innodata offers a freelance work. Okay? You can search Innodata online. You can search Innodata through social media accounts. So, makikita niyan. We usually post our hirings. So, sino nga ba si Innodata? So, Innodata first is we are a pioneer in converting physical books to digital books. Okay, so lahat ng nababasa natin sa Amazon, sa Kindle, sa lahat ng journals, online journals were manufactured by Innodata. Okay, but now we are also venturing into data annotation platform, document intelligence platform, document analytics for derivatives, medical record data extractions, news distribution, and media. And then we are also into artificial intelligence and machine learning. So that's Innodata. So this is the Philippine facilities of Innodata. So by the way, Innodata is a KPO company, knowledge process outsource company. So wherein we hire subject matter experts. Okay? So we hire high level domain of employees. So we have Innodata subsidiaries that is located in Makati. We have ESS Manufacturing Company. We have Iber Abstracting Company Inc. that is located in Makati City and in Mandaue City, Cebu. We have also Innodata Knowledge Services Inc. that is located in Mandaue City, Cebu. So it's in IT Parks, if familiar kayo. And we also have Innodata in Legazpi, Albay, or Bicol region. So you can search those locations if you are interested to work as a freelancer or as a part-timer or as a full-time employee sa Innodata. So working with Innodata, how was it like working with Innodata? So of course, we are the pioneer in offering work from home with flexible schedule. So before the Telecommunication Act, nag-o-offer na kami ng work from home setup and freelance setup. So since 1990s pa, nagpapa-work from home na kami. Okay? And then we started work from home arrangement again since 1990s, and we highly promote work-life balance. Aside from full-time jobs, we are offering also a freelance job. Okay? So what are we looking for? So this is the vacancies for freelancers that you can explore. We have content moderator, bilingual content moderator. If you know language, Asian languages or European languages, you are very welcome to apply to us. Video moderator, data curator, content writers, copy editors, freelance chemistry excerptors, abstractors, indexers. So you are very welcome to apply. Where you can send your application. So if you're interested to apply, you can send your resume to hr-manila@innodata.com. And then of course we are posting our hirings or even freelance jobs sa jobs180 / at Innodata. You just need to search our company name para makita niyo yung mga vacancies namin. Malay nyo, makapag-apply kayo sa amin at makapag-work kayo sa amin. Okay? Where you can reach us, you can like our Facebook page. You can like Innodata HR Recruitment Mandaue if you are in Cebu para malaman yung mga hirings natin sa Cebu. We have also Iber Abstracting Company Inc. kapag nasa Metro Manila kayo or Calabarzon or near places. And then we have Innodata Legazpi if you are in Bicol region. Okay, so I think that's all for my presentation. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Shena. All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
meron po tayong naiwang question kanina about freelancer or freelancing. So, i-app po sana natin ulit yung question. So, from Sir Miss JM po ha. So, ang question kanina po ay work experience is online seller, freelancer. Mostly naka-virtual yung mga experiences daw po niya. Pwede ba siya i-consider as work experience and ilagay sa resume?
Of course, pwedeng-pwede. Pwedeng-pwede mo yan ilagay sa resume mo. Because it's still an experience. Trabaho pa din yan. So, mas maganda, let's say, the trend now, if you're, lalo na ngayon yung trend is halos lahat ng trabaho are virtual na. So, makakatulong siya. It's an advantage actually dahil marunong ka na mag-adapt sa virtual setting, kumbaga. So, you can put that on your resume.
All right. So, thank you, ma'am. So, another question is, what are the risks of freelancing? I'm sure marami pong perks, advantages ang freelancing. Pero
Mm-hmm.
what are the risks? What are the disadvantages po of this freelancing works po, no?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's katulad yan na sinabi mo kanina, there's a lot of pros and advantages of being a freelancer. But of course, as a freelancer, we don't expect na magtatag or matagal for a long term siya. Usually ng mga work as a freelancer is short term. Kaya katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina is pwede kang mag-take ng task. So per task siya, per client siya. Okay, so may mga offers or may mga clients na for short term. And of course, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, that freelancers are not considered as an employee. sa specific. Kumbaga self-employed siya. So,
Mm-mm.
if unlike sa mga regular employees na may contribution sila, kumbaga may mga government contribution sila, but with the freelance work, so ano na siya, depende na siya dun sa freelancer kung gusto nilang magpulog ng contribution nila. So kanila na own account na
Mm-mm.
nila 'yon.
Mm-mm. So meaning ma'am, they don't get the same compensation po and benefits po no na
Yes.
like the regular employees po ng isang company.
Yes, and the
All right, so
security
thank you
kumbaga,
ma'am.
and the security of the job. So it's
Mm-hmm.
different. So somehow di siya parehas.
Mm-mm. All right, so thank you ma'am. And of course, why are you freelancing? Bakit may mga nagfi-freelance jobs?
Okay. So actually, marami na nag-freelance job, but if you will ask me why, it's because of the flexibility. Okay? And of course,
Mm-hmm.
since flexible in schedule, and let's say you are a family person or may pamilya ka, so that's a perfect setup for you. Kasi hawak mo yung oras mo. You have time to spend with your kids, with your family, and kumbaga kung meron ka pang mga tasks or meron ka pang mga responsibilities outside work, mas magagawa mo siya. Okay? And then, of course, you have the ability to manage your own time. Okay? That's why a lot of people are enticed to switch from being a regular employee to freelancing.
Mm. How does freelancing work po for working students ma'am? Sa mga estudyante pa lang?
Mhm. Okay, so for freelancing, if you are a student and you want to try freelancing, so katulad ng mga nabanggit ko kanina, you can, it depends kasi per website, so it depends per company, so you can at least
Mhm.
search kung ano yung mga requirements na hinahanap nila. But for our company, so kahit wala kang experience, of course, experience is an advantage, but if you don't have experience and you want to explore freelancing, we are offering trainings. So, maite-train ka namin. And then, of course, you have your internet connection because very relying tayo sa internet. And of course, you have your own unit para magamit. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Shena. I think no more questions from the audience. Ma'am, your final words na lang po sa ating graduating students na malapit na konting tulog na lang hinihintay nila yung kanilang graduation day. Ayan.
Mhm. Okay, para sa mga students natin nag-graduate na malapit ang graduate, congratulations sa inyong lahat. So of course, after how many years of studying and for the sleepless nights na na-experience nyo, eto na, graduate na kayo. And of course, don't, as an advice or as a tip, don't hesitate to explore. Huwag kayong matakot. So
Mm.
kahit sabihin yung we are on a setup na hindi siya usual than before, so, don't hesitate to explore. So, maraming opportunities out there. Kailangan lang natin maghanap ng mabuti. And of course, kahit ba experience yan, maliit or malaking experiences yan, it can be an advantage sa real world or kumbaga kapag nagtrabaho ka na.
All right. So thank you so much, Ms. Shena, for joining us today. We wish to have you on our next set of webinars also. So thank you so much,
Sure.
ma'am. Maraming salamat po and
Thank
ingat.
you. Thank you din. Salamat.
Okay. So guys, if you're interested, you may submit your resume link at www.jobs180.com/innodata. And for Cognizant, you may submit your resume link through their career site, www.jobs180.com/cognizant. All right, so to officially close our program, may we invite Ms. Donavel T. Mantos, the Job Placement Officer Special Program from Cebu Technological University for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Joyce. So, before I proceed, I would like to thank all our speakers for this afternoon, Mr. Kim, Sir Aaron, and Ms. Sheena for gracing our event and for sharing your expertise with our students. And I believe our students and all the job seekers who are watching with us right now learned a lot because I myself learned so much from this afternoon's webinar. And of course, to our MC, Miss Joyce, and the whole Jobs 180 team, no, behind the cam. Thank you for making this webinar possible. And to all our graduating students, graduates, and all job seekers who are with us, thank you for responding to our invitation. I hope that whatever you learn from our speakers will be applied in your job search journey or your job hunting, especially in our upcoming virtual job fair. So, in behalf of Cebu Technological University, we are inviting you all to join CTU's 21st Job Fair. This is the third virtual job fair of CTU in partnership with jobs180.com that will be on June 24, 2022. So that's a whole day activity, but in the morning, we will have a virtual booth where you can visit booths of our company representative and you can ask questions there. But the application or the job fair will be a whole day. So enhance your resume link that was discussed a while ago and make it saleable and presentable to your future employer. So see you all in this one-day job search activity and invite your friends or family members who are still unemployed and looking for a job. So if you are interested to join, register yourself for the upcoming event, or you can ask your respective job placement coordinators or officers for assistance. You can also follow our FB page, CTU Paso, for updates and information about our virtual job fair. So, are you all good right now? CTU students or our job seekers. So if you're all good, you can tap the heart button or whatever reactions you can give for this afternoon's webinar. And another important announcement before you leave, please make sure to accomplish our evaluation. And the link will be provided in the comment section. So be honest with your rating, and we encourage you to write comments and recommendations or suggestions for us to also improve or enhance our conduct of webinars like this. So before I end, allow me to leave you with this passage in the Bible, no? In Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6. I do believe Oban ninyo is familiar with this. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Yes, you have plans in your life, especially after you graduate. But always remember to trust in God and submit all your plans to Him, because if you'll do, you will be guided by His wisdom. And when challenges and problems arise while you are on your journey in achieving your plans, He will be there to direct your path and protect you all the way. So to all our graduating students, congratulations in advance. And to everyone who are watching with us, enjoy your job search journey. It is not an easy journey, but I do believe that God will bless you all and will be with you. So thank you very much for joining with us.
Hi, ma'am. Sorry. Nawala po si Joyce. I'll just fill in. Pero thanks so much, Miss Vel, for those inspiring message. I'm sure po the students are very encouraged as they start their career search now. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
By the way, guys, my name is Michelle. So I'm filling in for Joyce. She got disconnected. That's the reality of virtual right now. Depende sa weather and internet connection. So for final reminders, please be sure to fill out the evaluation form. It's already posted on the comment section. I'll post it again. Will be the basis for the attendance. Okay. With that, we thank everyone. We hope you really learned a lot from this session. We look forward to seeing you at the career fair. And thank you and God bless.
Change. happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.